and go.
Yeah.
All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly Split Decision podcast all about MMA, brought to you from the Ruloff Family Inc. studios. Thanks for tuning in.
Is it really?
Is it really? Yeah, well, I mean, not all about MMA. A lot of dick jokes, too. But thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends. Get us on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Our website's back up, splitdecisionmma.com. You can also find us on iTunes, subscribe there, or on iHeartRadio. Just look up MMA Podcasts. Big thanks to StrongboardBalance.com for sponsoring the show. Change the way that you work out. Get on board, StrongboardBalance.com. Check out their Instagram. They do like a monthly contest where they give one away. Super cool. StrongboardBalance.com. Do you have it?
That's how I got mine, yeah.
Do you have it? Did you bring it?
No.
Damn it.
I told you he's not ever going to give it to anybody.
That's how I got it. I won the Instagram.
And you don't even use it. He put it up in that hole in his garage where he puts all the stuff.
You said I could borrow it.
I use it every day.
You said I could borrow it.
And I brought it last time.
No, you weren't. You weren't even here last time.
I know. It was in my truck, though. I swear to God, it was in my truck. I couldn't show up. I brought it, and so I was like, well, I can't just have this rolling around the truck. Someone might steal it.
But that's not this time. So Dodge stole it for himself.
Well, you didn't ask me to bring it this time. You asked me to bring it last time.
It was a continuation of the request. The request was never fulfilled.
Hey, he could have really came. That's why he didn't come. He was like, I'm not bringing the
I'm not partying with the board. The previous request was not fulfilled. Therefore, there's a continuation of the same request.
No, sir. You have to reorder.
Look, man, that ticket was not claimed. That was not filled at all. Anyway, check them out at strongboardbalance.com and, of course, MMAnews.com. I can't say that for some reason.
It's a lot of M's.
It's an MMA podcast, and I can't say MMAnews.com. News.com. So check them out for it's our second home, plus all the breaking news, of course, that you can hear right here on the podcast. As we jump into it, we got Tough Talk. We got a recap of cards from last week. You got to look forward to Ronda Rousey fighting tomorrow. And, of course, all the breaking news that happened immediately after the podcast was done last week.
It's in Australia,
Assholes.
so they're fighting right now, right?
Right now.
They weighed in right now, though. I watched the weigh-ins before I came.
They're fighting right now.
Is that Brazilian time?
Australia.
It's Antarctic time.
When is this? That was then. Well,
Back
when
in
then
time.
be now?
Soon.
We'll go back. We can't.
This would be Jodge's Thanksgiving card.
This
is.
This is the thing.
No, actually, there is a Thanksgiving card.
Is there?
I think there's a fight next week.
All right.
This is the Thanksgiving.
This is the
card.
Thanksgiving pay-per-view card,
This is bigger.
which is different than the actual Thanksgiving card. That happens next week. After Thanksgiving.
So some news that broke last week, like almost immediately when we were done recording, was Royce Gracie versus Ken Shamrock 3.
I haven't heard anything actually from Bellator on this. I've just heard this again from Ken Shamrock. He's the one who posted this.
No, I think they actually put it on the...
Did they put it on their thing?
Yeah, they
because
put...
all I saw was Ken being like, so I just need to let everybody know I need to break the news. I want to be the first one to get the information out there. I'm going to be fighting Royce Gracie. And I'm like,
no, they got that
Are
out
you
there.
Ken?
and the Kimbo
versus DaDa 5000.
Oh, so the picture of them facing off, that wasn't from a press conference. That was just an old picture from the last time that they fought?
Probably.
So they're that much older now?
I think
was it carved in stone?
I think it's any time that they're both brand ambassadors, right, for Bellator. So I'm sure that once they were brand ambassadors, like, hey, you guys should square up, be looking at an old school, cool picture.
Did you see a big powder flash in the back of the picture? Yeah, boy, sit right there. Take this picture. Yeah, put your dukes up.
Hold really still. Don't flinch. We're going to paint you.
For 2 minutes.
No, I just saw a picture of them facing off. Ken was in his sparkle butt jeans.
Yeah, but that could be any day.
Yeah.
They could have just taken a picture of him and then just superimposed Royce Gracie next to him. It would have worked.
It kind of looked like that, actually, now that I think about it.
But yeah, same card, DaDa 5000 versus Kimbo.
This
the
is
real king of Miami.
So Bellator
I mean,
is really pushing hard for these quote-unquote tent event
big tent
cards that have like the old Japanese Pride freak show matches.
I'm cool with that.
And it's working for their numbers, right?
Yeah, they're beating UFC in numbers.
Well, we'll get to that. So, but finally, DaDa 5000 and Kimbo going face to face. This is kind of cool. It's a fight that a lot
for
of
the King of Miami.
Yeah, for the King of Miami. They should just have a Miami-shaped belt to put on the line.
Or crown.
Burger King.
The King of Miami is Bette Midler.
What?
They should have a big belt, like a Burger King crown, and a big belt with Florida right in the middle. So
like Flo Rida's chain.
Yeah, so it looks like a dangling wiener.
Yeah, as long as it's held together with the police tape, the caution tape that they used to make the rings.
Oh, dude, that would be so perfect.
Yeah,
that would be perfect.
And it possibly has a traffic cone.
Make it happen. All right, moving on from there.
Fedor has a new opponent. It's not going to be Jadib Singh.
Well, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, so who is it now?
Now it's going to be...
45-year-old.
Yep. Tayosha Kohashaka.
You get the Asian names, dude. I get everything else.
Yeah. who they've already fought twice before.
And he hasn't fought in over 9 years.
Yep.
Awesome. So this is much better than having the kickboxer.
Freak show!
The kickboxer who's out of shape, but has fought more recently than 9 years ago, and who has never fought Fedor. Instead, they give Fedor somebody who's already beat up twice.
However, Senior Vice President Risen says it's not true. And that's all he says.
I kind of hope he's telling the truth.
But we also got to see...
Truth about it not being the truth, or the truth?
Yes.
You can't handle the truth.
I know.
You also got Lade Tapa, the professional wrestler who's going to go against Gaby Garcia.
That's just...
Did you see that
Yeah.
weigh-in picture or that
No.
standoff picture?
No.
It's crazy.
Is it pretty amazing?
Yeah.
I want to see this
I can see if I can
epicness.
find
Yeah,
it.
like I asked Pablo, I was like, you want to be the meat in that sandwich? He's all, I wouldn't run from it.
There's nothing you can do.
He just said he wouldn't run from
You
it.
can't. You don't have a choice. If you're selected to be the meat in that sandwich, you're the meat in that sandwich. It's just how it happens.
It's over, Pablo.
So who's her opponent?
She's a professional wrestler who's also making her debut.
Like a Japanese professional wrestler, or
She's fought in a couple different ones.
She's Samoan, I think.
Yeah,
right?
she is Samoan.
oh, okay. So they found.
Samoan down other women. That's what she's Samoan.
Why can't there just be a damn picture?
There was one. I saw it. I seen it.
It should be on my MMA News.
I like how Gaby Garcia is definitely trimmed down since she was a coach on Tough Brazil. Though.
Yeah.
But she's still 6'2".
She's still
The
big,
girl she's
280.
fighting is like 5'2".
but she used to.
No, she's not.
She used to be bigger than.
She is. Okay, she's 5'3". I'm sorry.
No way.
I swear.
This
But she's
broad's
huge.
big,
She's
dude.
223 pounds.
She's Samoan and she's 5'3". That's not even possible. That's like a midget by Samoan standards.
I'm telling you. I saw it.
I saw it. Well, apparently the internet took it down. It doesn't.
There we go.
It doesn't exist anymore.
No, it's right there. Dude, that is not 5'2".
She's huge.
She's not
That is not
5'2".
5'2".
5'3".
Either
not
that,
5'3".
either that or that's some huge hair.
She's wearing heels.
She's wearing heels and did a Brazilian blowout on her hair. That's what it is.
I don't know, dude. That's a big old arm.
At 5'11".
It's a huge difference, man.
5'11" with heels. 220 pounds.
5'11".
Look how huge your arm is, man.
Yeah.
They're still both bigger than Wanderlei Silva.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
If that's your.
Is that running or not running from drugs?
That's a difference of 8 inches. If that's your difference of 8 inches,
I impress a lot of ladies.
Or just Jared.
Hey, they have a trademark on footlong because it's a word, not a measurement. That's not a lie.
that's not a lie. That's not a lie.
It's footlong, one word.
It's a stretch.
Which is what Jared also will be doing, according to what was released today.
How come your foot long is only 11 inches? Well, it's a stretch.
So the UFC has also started a new website, UFC.com/New York, as a grassroots website to, if you register through them to vote about MMA, you get a free month of Fight Pass in New York.
Can we do that?
You're not in New York.
What if we use the New York address?
Sure. You also have to be a registered New York voter.
Okay, what if I just got one of my friends that lives in New York to do this, and then they sent me the Fight Pass password?
We already have Matt doing that, so I don't know why we need to get it from New York.
It doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work anymore, dude.
If you try to watch it when somebody else is watching it, you get kicked off. Or
I
they
get kicked off or they get kicked off?
They get kicked off. And then let me tell you, that Matt's going to get right back on and kick you off. And if you were even thinking of using Jeff in New York, I'll tell you right now, Jeff's going to get us all kicked off.
Fine.
Damn it. Ronda Rousey signed with Monster Energy Drink.
Good for her.
So now she's got Reebok, Carl's Jr., Metro PCS, and Buffalo Jeans.
Buffalo Jeans.
As major sponsors, yeah.
Is that a clothing company
Yeah, they make jeans.
for Buffalo?
Yeah, sure. If you want to call Ronda Rousey Buffalo, go for it.
Probably kicks like one.
I'm sure it's made from Buffalo.
It's buffalo skin jeans.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
I was imagining like orange, really hot pants. But
What does that have to do with Buffalo? Like Buffalo,
sauce?
wings?
Yeah, buffalo sauce.
Anybody see the horrible Buffalo Bills Jets game? It looked like Christmas threw up on TV yesterday.
No, I didn't watch it.
It looked like an old version of an Atari football game.
Yes.
That was cool.
It seriously, it was red versus like all red players versus all green players.
That must have messed with people's color settings so bad.
Yeah, I was not happy.
hey, colorblind people apparently
Couldn't watch the game at all.
Are they playing
Where are
somebody?
they? Is there anybody on the field?
Gray versus gray.
On gray?
Angela Hill got released from the UFC.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that was quick.
She went 1 and 2.
That was short-lived.
She said it was bittersweet. Hopefully she'll be able to get more active outside the octagon, gain some experience, and make her way back.
But isn't this a girl who came into the UFC with one fight when she came onto the Ultimate Fighter?
She's 2-2 overall. She had 1 and 2 of those fights, or 3 of those fights in the UFC.
Is that Key from Key and Bill? Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Josh Ruloff.
So racist. So racist.
Wow. Cowboy Cerrone gets in trouble for not giving his whereabouts to the new
Oh, the new rules?
of the new rules.
Oh, Jesus.
He had a whereabout failure test. Now, mind you, everyone freaked out and was like, "Oh, he failed drug test, failed drug test." And then once you actually click the link, you come to find out he had a whereabout failure, number 1, and number 2, you can have 3 whereabout failures before they actually pull you from the fight or fine you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And like I said earlier, I really liked how the Brazilian people were like, oh, if that had been a Brazilian fighter, you guys were saying he was running from a test. It's nothing like that at all.
Yeah.
They contacted him. They're like, we're at your house. And he's like,
I'm in Vegas. I just landed. Why didn't you tell us? Because I just decided to go. Like right now. Like we packed our shit, got on a plane and left.
And that's what I was saying was going to be the problem with this bullshit standard. And if it was, and here's the thing, Brazil, y'all motherfuckers do have people that ran from a test. So we have the right to say that.
Not only that, but it's not like they can just be like, okay, cool, go to your nearest testing center in Vegas and we'll test you.
yeah, but what's worse than that? We have the dumbass that just took the test knowing he was going to fail and talk shit about the guy who ran from his
Oh,
test.
no, that's bad too. But I'm just saying, if you have somebody who runs from a test.
As he tinkled in the cup, he was like, oh, I can't believe we ran from the test. I'm
test
probably
that.
going to fail.
But at least I'm not running.
I'm surprised Donald Cerrone wasn't just like lost on his ATV somewhere and he rang him up.
In the desert.
Where you at, man? We got to test you. I don't know, man. I just got on ATV. It took off. Just I'm like, I don't even know I'm getting home at this point. I just got enough Budweiser to get me through the night.
Well, piss in one of those cans. And we'll get to it.
Speaking of failed tests, Mirko Cro Cop, not only did he get pulled from his fight against Anthony Hamilton, which is going down later this month, he retired from MMA because he was going to fail his test.
Yeah. So that's what it was. It was like, oh, Mirko Cro Cop is retiring. Everybody's like, what? What's
Why?
going on?
What happened?
You have a fight coming up. What's happening?
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, he failed the PED test.
He flat out said he was going to fail, and he said, I probably shouldn't even told them that I might fail because I might not have failed and there would have been no big deal. He said he's been taking a little bit of HGH.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit of HGH.
Just a quarter cup.
Just to help his shoulder injury that he had.
I was going to say, he takes the child dose.
He tried all the other methods. He said he tried massages and icing and it didn't help. So he went to a blood plasma where they injected straight into his shoulder, which has just a little bit of growth hormone.
It's like
makes him heal faster. And he said it's possible it would not even showed up on his test. And he maybe shouldn't have said anything, but because he said something, they're immediately going to fail him. So now he's going to retire.
All right. I mean, that's your own stupid fault. Then I don't know what to say about that. I mean, good for being honest, but at the
And
same
he
time,
said, come fight time, he would have been clean, like no big deal.
well, then yeah, you shouldn't.
So
have said
you
it.
know now you could take a little bit of HGH.
Yeah,
just don't mention it.
When you look on the bottle, when it says 6 and under, that's how much you should take.
Well, we know that's what they've all been doing. They've all been doing this and running right up to the line. And that's why the big thing, like with Cerrone, that's the big thing about this random testing.
So dumb. But I mean, this is your life lesson in honesty, kids. Don't do it. Just look at Cro Cop. See what
Don't
happens.
tell anybody about the tranny.
Yeah, don't tell anybody about the tranny, the drugs, nothing.
Just don't do it.
Stick to the script.
It's like Shaggy says, it wasn't me. Or like Chris Rock said, I know you did it. Just admit it. Don't admit shit. If you don't admit shit, they don't know shit. I know you did it. Just admit it.
Yeah.
It's Chris Rock bit. Look it up.
Yeah.
EA Sports UFC 2. We have Ronda Rousey on the cover.
Now, let's see. Is this going to be, are we going to get the Madden curse from the UFC games?
Hopefully not.
I don't think so. Who was on the cover of the last one? Do we remember? Anybody? Wasn't it like rotating covers? John Jones? Well, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, right?
And Gustafson.
And Gustafson. Was it Gustafson or was it Hendricks?
I was pretty sure it was Gustafson.
Maybe it was Gustafson.
I was pretty sure. Let's look this up. Let's Amazon this.
Let's Amazon this.
Well, yeah, if we're going to buy a cover, right?
Let's see. EA Sports, UFC 2.
No, not 2.
UFC 1. Compelling rating.
Bam, right there. It was right there. It's Gustafson and Jones.
So yeah, it's curse.
It's a curse. Both of them went down. One
Right.
with drugs, one with... he just lost.
That's it. Put all your money on home tomorrow. All of it.
I don't think the game's out yet, though, so might be okay.
Put all your money on home tomorrow.
Eric from My MMA News, he put his thing out today, his 2 bits, and he says that he believes in the whole scheme of things. They're going to give it to home tomorrow. That way, Miesha comes in to fight, then Miesha Tate beats Holmes, and then Rousey comes back. They do the trilogy, and Rousey mops the floor with Tate.
I don't
So
think
it's a
she's losing tomorrow.
conspiracy.
Big time, dude.
I
Are
don't
you
think
listening, sheeple?
she's. She has said that she's going to take time off. I'm sure you had that somewhere though.
Who?
Ronda Rousey.
She's always said she's going to take time off, and then she goes, "You know what? I got the itch again. I want to fight."
Yeah, she said she's going to take 8 to 12 months off.
It's
too.
not going to happen.
I don't think women will ever say that term.
Yeah, I hope not.
I
She
got
said
the itch, and I want to fight.
It's time to fight. She said it in the last
Actually,
episode.
usually if the woman does get the itch, then she wants to fight. Motherfucker, I'm itchy. What did you do? What did you bring home?
It's like that when
It
I got
wasn't
there.
me.
Ramsey Nijem recently got cut from the UFC. We talked about he was part of the big cuts. He says it was because he decided to not sign the contract, not because he was on a losing skid. He
Well,
says he
if
can
you're
make-
on a losing skid and you won't sign the contract, that will kind of seal your fate.
See, and he cites the whole WADA thing too. He said that he don't believe that he's paid enough money
to have to go through that much testing.
to kept track of every day.
Yeah.
Like every day they have to get up and report what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
it's
wake
not
up.
even like
Sign
that.
the
It's not
contract.
even like that in the NFL though.
Honey, what are we doing today? I don't know. All right, I'm doing
Check with
nothing.
WADA.
Yeah,
WADA said no.
Girlfriend says I'm cleaning all day, so I'll be home.
which means I'll be down at the bar. Brian Camozzi, Chris Camozzi's brother, has signed with Titan FC. So you get to see him live December 18th on Fight Pass.
All right,
You excited? Yeah? No? Don't care?
don't care.
All right.
Let's see what he does.
Good enough. ONE FC happened, today? Yeah, this morning at 7 in the morning.
Without Ben Askren.
Ben Askren, because Luis Santos didn't make weight,
So why didn't he just take the fight anyway?
because he said he was disrespected.
Whatever, because
He missed-
that's the guy who was going to beat Askren.
Not only did he miss weight only by 2 pounds, he then told him he has to come in at 190 the next day.
Yeah.
So a lot of crazy things going on.
Yeah, that's somebody being a little spoiled.
Yeah. Come
That-
fight
that's-
in a
that's
real
somebody-
league,
yeah.
Askren. Come fight in a real
Exactly.
league.
That's somebody, in my opinion, who's kind of calling his shot. Almost-
Bro, also, the UFC's not going to want you if you pull that shit. How many guys have said they're not going to fight after their opponent misses weight? They usually just take the 20% of the purse.
Give me
go
your
on with
money.
the fight
I will
anyway.
fight you. And it was not going to be for the belt. They just take the belt thing. That's all that ends up happening.
Yeah,
They just say,
exactly.
oh, it's not for the belt anymore. You can still fight them.
Yep.
Happens all the time.
Should have fought.
It's not how you get in the UFC, Ben.
It is our opinion you should have fought, Ben.
Ultimate Fighter from Wednesday. Did you watch it?
I guess watch the fight. I didn't get to watch anything leading
Both
up to
fights
that.
or just one?
The one.
Which the first one or the second one?
The first one where we got knocked out.
Okay. Wait, was that the first? Yeah, it was the first one.
Yeah.
So the first fight you had
Our team.
good old Uriah Faber's boy go up against Conor McGregor's boy, and it was just so terribly I don't understand how this fight even happened. It was so terribly one-sided. Conor McGregor's guy wouldn't even have his hands up because he was just tagging Uriah Faber's boy over and over and over and over. It was hard to watch, man. I was yelling at my TV. It was no shit yelling at my TV. It was like an experienced fight. It was like if I was to show up at a professional gym today and they were to use me as a sparring partner. That's how bad it was. Just an ass whooping from bell to bell until he finally got just
The TKO in the
destroyed.
first.
Yeah. And then your second fight, your Team USA's guy kind of came back a little bit. He started looking pretty good.
Yeah.
After a bit of the first, he took an ass
Little
whooping
bits
in
that
the
I got
first
to
round.
catch, but
Yeah, he took an ass whooping in most of the first round, but then he came back a little bit at the end of the first round. Not enough to really win it back or anything, but then the second round he looked really good. So he went to a third round, at which point they were both completely gassed, but the USA guy he couldn't put together an attack and lost a third round decision to Conor McGregor's guy. So Team USA hurting a lot right now.
yeah.
See, and this is what I'm talking about, the funky editing. We don't know how this order really happened.
Because right now it's 5-3.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it could have, because at that point in time before those two fights, it was even.
Right.
And then it shows the last two fights, and it's 5-3. So yeah, those fights could have been in almost any order, but now we start the second round, so we know we're officially in the second round. So these can't be out of order.
Okay.
So these couldn't happen before the first round, obviously. So next week we'll jump into that round. And do we know who's fighting next week? Did they announce it?
No,
They didn't.
I don't remember.
Okay. I didn't know if it was on that page that you were just on.
I closed it.
Oh fuck, whatever. All right.
There you go.
I don't want to know.
The final fight, Abner Loveres against Jason Gonzalez.
Okay, that's what's happening next week.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Good.
Awesome. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks.
Better?
Thanks,
Who do
Doc.
you think's going to win?
Who do I think's going to win? I think
McGregor's guy?
I'm going to go Team USA.
Okay.
Just I'm hoping.
You're
I'm
hoping?
really hoping.
Kind of even it up a little.
Team flip flop.
Team flip flop against Team Suit.
Yes. Yes. Team flip flop versus Team necktie.
There you go.
I like it.
Bellator, did you get a chance to watch that?
No, I do not.
Anybody get a chance to watch Bellator?
Yeah.
I thought I got to watch the main event.
I called the main event. Is it Strauss?
Strauss won.
Oh, yeah?
Took the title from Pitbull.
Yeah. I thought he was going to be the first one to actually knock him out.
It looked a little...
And
Couple
then,
times.
And
There
then
was
when he
couple
almost
times.
got the armbar,
Yeah,
I was like, Strauss, what are you doing?
Yeah. A couple times I thought he was going to knock him out, but...
This event, I mean, this was a bigger event for Bellator versus the UFC event that happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
But people are making a big deal about Bellator outdrawing the UFC.
Well, you got events like, you have Bobby Lashley, man, take on James Thompson.
Which I still don't even care. But it was still, this is a big event for Bellator versus a Fox Sports 1 event for the
Right.
UFC, like the third tier event for UFC. So I don't think it's that big of a deal that it outdrew.
Was James
UFC.
Thompson, that's the guy whose ear popped, right?
Yeah, exploded all over the
Yeah.
place. Looked like he had a testicle hanging from his head.
Yeah, Kimbo Slice popped it. I don't think Fox was ready for that when it happened, man.
No.
Was it Fox that it was on or ABC?
That was CBS.
Was it CBS?
I don't think
CBS.
anybody was ready for
It was
that.
just
That was
like-
Elite XC, CBS, sir.
Yeah.
The first time MMA was on primetime TV was on CBS for Elite XC.
those the people in the control room were like, I don't know if we can show that.
I was at Firkin and Fox when that happened.
Can we show that on TV?
Watching it, and everyone went, "Oh my god! I don't want the deep fried oysters anymore." It looks a little close to that.
Turned into that scene from Stand By Me where everybody throws up on each other.
It's like scanners. His head blew up. I don't understand what the fuck is. Can we show that?
Are we allowed to?
Somebody hit the pause button. Find out if we have to delay this.
Will Brooks defended his belt against Marcin Held. Michael Chandler defeated David Rickles.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley just went to town on Thompson in 54 seconds of the first round. Done cakes.
And then you do have your fight on Fox Sports 1.
Which was fun, man. I actually enjoyed this whole card.
I only got to watch a little bit of it. I got to watch the main, I got to watch the Glover Cummings fight, and I got to watch
That was good all the way from
the Gleason fight.
Yeah.
I missed the obviously the Fight Pass card because I don't have Fight Pass.
Matt.
But and they all went to the third round. They only had one stop with Matthias Nicolau up against Bruno Rodriguez. Matthias got a Japanese necktie? What is that, like similar to a Peruvian necktie?
Yeah,
except
but it's
for
reversed.
only Asians can do it. I don't understand.
It's reversed.
It's reversed.
Makes sense.
Jumping onto the main card, Chaz Skelly had a great comeback against Kevin Souza. That was a fun fight to watch. Got him with a rear naked choke. Thiago Tavares up against Clay Guida. What? The fastest Clay Guida has ever been submitted in a fight, and also the fastest submission in that weight division.
I don't know what he was doing when he tried to flip over. He just put himself worse
Deeper
into
into
the
it.
hole.
That was really just bad fighting by Clay
He says
Guida.
he doesn't want to quit until he starts losing really bad.
I don't know.
And then this happened.
It's like the fastest he's ever been stopped in a fight and the fastest submission in that weight class. What the hell? Johnny Cage up against Yan Cabral. I thought this was a great fight. Was fun to watch. Did you guys get a chance to see it?
I came in at the Gleason fight.
I thought it was slow.
Did you think it was slow? I thought it was very technical.
Okay. That's your word.
Those are the two. Those are the same words.
This is my Joe Rogan. This is my Joe Rogan word for slow.
Yeah.
I enjoy
Very
it.
technical.
And the gigantic Gleason Tabao had a
Against
chance.
the gigantic Abel Trujo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He had a chance to break GSP's takedown record in this fight. Unfortunately for him, the fight only went one round, and not even a full round. So he only got 2 takedowns in the fight up against Abel Trujillo, but he still got the win with a technical submission, a rear naked choke.
Yeah, I'm glad they finally classified it. At first, they were in such shock that it happened. They just said by submission. They didn't even call
They
it.
didn't know what had happened.
They didn't know what to call it.
And then we get onto your main card here with Corey Anderson going up against Fabio Maldonado. This one
How
too.
is he still fighting?
I don't know, but he fought to a decision. Corey Anderson getting the win there, and then Rashid Momagedov up against Gilbert Burns. Again, a decision here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Alex Oliveira gets a KO in the third round over Peter Hallman.
Awesome KO.
Awesome KO.
He was dead.
One of those ones where it looked like someone just those little things that got the string in it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I said he looked like the wacky inflatable, flailing 2-arm man. They unplugged. He just went,
Whoa.
Wacky inflatable floating on fungi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally I was like, oh God, he's dead. And Caitlin was sitting on the couch next to me. I don't even know what I call her on the show. I call her so many different names. She's sitting she's like a 65-year-old woman. She's sitting next to me knitting a blanket while I'm watching the fight. She
looks up.
and I was like, "Holy shit, he's dead!" She's like, "What did I miss?" So I had to rewind it and show her. She's like, "Oh my God!"
I like when they get knocked out like that. Like somebody needs to superimpose a box because they're like a jack in a box. They would just fold down into the box.
and then do it in reverse.
Yeah.
Just reverse the GIF. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he's that. I watched it like 3 times. Awesome. Thomas Almeida going up against Anthony Birchak.
Another great knockout.
Yeah.
Great knockout. They had
Not quite as floppy, but it was good.
I like how they were like in the middle of talking about like how Birchak's really good. He's really been improving a lot, and he's got a really good and he's dead.
And then you always get the oh, he's down.
He's down. Glover Teixeira made pretty quick work of Patrick Cummins.
I said I want a peppermint latte.
Sent his ass back to the coffee house.
You know what's funny is I was telling Albert because he was working that night. I was like, that could have been you. He's like, I know it could have been me. I'm like, no, because you were a barista. And he's just like, all quiet, all upset.
And then when Patrick
that's
Cummins got
him
knocked
all the
out,
time.
he's very accurate. What, quiet and upset?
Yeah. Or injured.
Or injured. So he's not even allowed to look at ladders in my place.
The brooding Albert. Yeah, Patrick Cummins, man, I don't know what to make of this guy at this point. When he lost to...
He's a great journeyman.
You don't deserve to be in the top 10, in my opinion.
I'll give him 10.
Still, at this point?
Are we going to have to do this again when we're like, we list like, okay, is he better than this guy? No, he's 6. Is he better than this guy? No, now he's this. Now,
Where is he at in the top 10, though?
He was 9, I believe.
Oh, well, now he's 10. Barely hanging on. So we got light heavyweight.
He's at 11.
He's at
Okay,
11.
okay.
That's fine. He's not...
He moved down 2 spots.
I don't know. Maldonado can beat him.
Yeah.
Nogueira can beat him.
Yeah.
I think Nogueira could beat him, too.
Nope. Don't think so.
Really?
Yep.
What about Cavalcante?
Cavalcante could beat him.
Yeah.
I'll give him Cavalcante. Corey Anderson, don't know about that one. I don't know how you...
All right, I'd give him 14 because I don't think Blankovitz could get him.
Yeah.
I think Nogueira could probably get him with his boxing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The takedowns, that's what I worry about.
Yeah, but he's also comfortable on the ground.
Not as comfortable as his brother, but we'll see.
True.
Yeah, anyway.
Vitor Belfort went up against Dan Henderson, and this was a repeat of their second fight. It was just over.
A doughier, softer, slower Vitor.
Yeah.
Who's just on the Jesus juice, which, by the way, I called that shit the last time I talked to somebody about this when they said he's just going to have a bottle that says Jesus. It's the same HGH, it's the same testosterone, steroids. It's just going to say Jesus now because literally in one of his interviews he's like, I'm on a different juice now. I'm on Jesus. I'm on a different drug. It's called Christ. I'm like, you can't just put that on the label, Vitor. That's not how that works.
If you replace the name Jesus with any other guy's name and you say you're on his juice, it sounds really weird.
So was this early?
Did you think it was early? Anybody?
I mean, it would have continued to the
No.
same position.
I don't think it was early.
Recently, Herb Dean came out and he was discussing this fight, and he said,
And if anybody knows early stoppage,
no, Herb Dean's not known for his early. He's known as the best referee. We're not talking Mazzagatti.
There was a really bad one, though. Was it on that card?
He's
it
talking.
was earlier in the day.
Yeah,
That was a real bad stop.
He's saying, you know what? He goes, I can't say if it would have been different. He definitely, his head went limp. His head went back.
And to the left.
Back into the left. He said, and then you could obviously see Mario was stepping in to stop the fight as another punch was coming. He was protecting the fighter, but the minute he stepped in, Dan came through and started kicking Mario off of him and started trying to create separation. And so, could you have let it go? Right. It's possible. He was still in it, but he was protecting him from that next punch, which is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
He says, but maybe if he had not jumped in right away and just stepped back, he would have seen that he was going to, get out of it, and we could have let this fight go a little bit longer. But he's like,
It's a tough
really,
call for a
really,
ref.
really hard
It's
to
like,
call. Yeah,
you got to make the decision on benefit of the doubt versus protecting the fighter.
Yes,
and that's at the judge's discretion.
Yep.
I think Dan was on his way to losing that fight regardless.
I think he could have came back.
I don't
Dan
know,
Henderson.
man. He's old.
So is Vitor.
They're actually pretty far apart when it comes to age. Vitor's 38, Dan Henderson's 45.
Fight years.
Fight years. All right.
Vitor's been fighting since he was 19.
All right.
And on the juice since he was 19.
All right. If we're going to bring dog ears into this.
Fight years.
I can't argue your science.
I mean, you're saying Nogueira. Remember we talked about how Nogueira's, 32? But it looks like he's like an 80-year-old man when he's in the damn ring because he's been fighting since that long.
Yeah.
And fucking wars and pride.
Yeah.
Takes a lot out of you.
I agree.
I say Vitor's old.
I say Dan Henderson's still older.
He is.
Because he's been fighting just as long.
We figured it out. It was it's 37.
It was 37 and 45.
45, yeah.
Yeah.
And even though Vitor's been fighting since he was 18, 19 years old, Dan Henderson was still fighting at that time, too.
I thought he was in the Olympics.
Was he 10 years ago?
Yeah. No, before that. when Vitor was fighting. Like when Vitor fought, wasn't Dan in the Olympics?
Maybe.
I don't know. You got the fucking world knowledge at your fingertips.
I know.
When was Dan? Did you just click on his name? When was his first fight?
Oh, fine, sure, whatever.
Why not Vitor's Dan?
I want to see when he was fighting. I got to see them both. I know they shared a UFC together where they didn't fight each other.
Jesus Christ.
97, Brazilian Open.
Okay.
98.
And Vitor started and
96, 99, same time. You're right.
yeah, so they got the same amount of fight years in, and Dan Henderson's still fucking older.
I still think Vitor's an old man. I see him as an old man.
And Dan's an older man.
I could have told you even without looking this shit up that he wasn't going to change his stance.
To me, they've been in the fight. Okay, so they've been in the fight game at the same time. I still see them as the same age.
But they're not. They've been
Dan
fighting.
Henderson's got a smoking hot wife that keeps him young. I can't.
Oh shit! Give me a break. And Vitor has Jesus that keeps him young.
Apparently,
Unbelievable.
I'd like to see the fight again.
Inconceivable.
All right.
Moving on to your fight card coming up this weekend, UFC 193 going down in Australia. This is what? This is the biggest audience Ronda's fought in front of? Were they saying that?
Yeah, I think this is the biggest audience anybody's fought in front of. They're in a damn soccer field.
Yeah, that's big, man. Is this where Taylor Swift is going to perform too?
Sure.
At the same time that they're fighting?
T-Swizzle?
Now we got bad blood. All right, so we jump on.
You can really tell he's been doing Pop 40.
That better be one of your intros.
It's hot AC, man. It's hot AC. Same damn thing. Ben Nguyen and Ryan Benoit kick off the preliminary fight pass card. And you have James Montessori up against Anton Zafir.
Kyle Noak retired.
It's Australia. They come out of retirement for
Same
Australia.
thing with Parosh. Didn't he retire?
I thought he did after the last Australian card or New
Yeah.
Zealand card. Were they in New Zealand or Australia
Right.
last time?
Pretty sure he retired. He came back.
We weren't even there yet.
Sorry.
You
I
and
got
your
excited. I don't-
ADHD over there. It's all shiny stuff. Look
God
at
damn
this.
You should know this stuff.
I can no longer move forward. Richard Walsh was going up against Steve Kennedy, and Dan Kelly goes up against Steve Montgomery.
Did you even talk about James Montessori?
I did. That was when you started talking over me about looking up fucking Kyle Noak's record, if he retired or not.
Did he retire?
I can't even see that.
Richie.
Valkovic?
Sure.
Up against Danny Martinez. Got a dog in that fight.
I'm taking Danny Martinez.
Danny Martinez.
Yeah.
Anthony the Hippo Peroche is going up against Bob.
Guillen Vellante. It's right here.
Is it? Where?
Right here. Guillen Vellante.
Oh, Guillen Vellante. We thought the Hippo retired in his
retired,
last
apparently
one.
not.
I don't know.
After he lost
I thought he did. He lost pretty soundly, didn't he? Get submitted? or
O'Connell,
something?
yeah. TKO, first round.
Was it TKO? Yeah, so I'm going with Guillen Vellante this one.
And then you got Kyle Noak against Peter Sobota, and I thought Kyle Noak retired too.
It's Australia. Just like fucking Patrick Cote doesn't fight on any other card except for when they go to Canada.
Makes sense.
Then it's like, hey, Patrick Cote, he's Canadian. Let's put him on the card.
Everybody knows him.
Sells
He
tickets.
sells tickets. He's hometown. We don't know why we sound like that when we're doing Canadians. It's terrible. Patrick Cote, eh?
What's that about?
What's that about? Oh, we got a card coming to Canada, eh?
Sorry, Canada. Sorry. I love your loony and your toonie
And your Molson.
and your dinosaur coin. They
Jake,
have a quarter with a glow-in-the-dark dinosaur on it. That is awesome.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
that is
And it's legal tender.
excellent, actually.
Jake Matthews,
Up
Akbar
against
Areola.
Akbar Areola.
I can't go with Areola anymore.
Really? Change teams or what?
We all
Everybody's
have
got him.
areolas.
Harry Areola.
No, Akbar. He sounds like a Star Wars character.
He is a Star Wars character.
I imagine a squid with some big ass nips.
He's a calamarian, sir? Calamarian. That's a real thing.
I know.
Is that like a pastafarian?
No.
That's a very imaginative name to give to
Right.
Do they have pot
General
stickerians?
Akbar.
pot stickerians.
I want to be a pot stickerian.
Yes, they're Gyozans.
Stefan Struve coming back.
I don't know how he's going to do it. I did another not FanDuel. What's the other one?
DraftKings.
DraftKings.
DraftKings.com.
And I took Rashalt in this fight because I don't know. I can't believe in Stefan Struve anymore.
I like Stefan Struve.
He's just too tall for the blood to get all over.
He had that heart problem. Then he had another fight after that where he lost. I don't know.
I'll go with Struve.
I'm going with Rashalt. Dodge has ADD today.
Red
It's
Bull.
bad.
Whittaker or Uriah Hall?
Robert Whitaker going up against Uriah Hall. I got Uriah Hall in this fight.
Okay, I can go with that.
And then we have the
rematch, motherfuckers.
of a draw between Mark Hunt and Antonio Silva. Where didn't Silva pop after this one?
Yes.
But now he has his pituitary gland tumor removed and his boobs
Mark Hunt's gonna knock him the fuck out.
leak milk. And
You
Mark
think so?
Hunt's-
Mark Hunt he don't have a gas tank anymore.
He had 2 tough fights against 2 tough. Fabricio, he almost was gonna do. Yeah, I think he was gonna win that
he
fight.
got caught by a kick.
He got caught by the knee.
It was a knee.
And then
that's right.
Junior did the same thing to him.
Do you think that
And I'm like, motherfuckers. But otherwise, I think he's, he would have been the champ.
with Antonio Silva's knees, though, you don't think he's going to be an issue?
No.
What about his lactation?
His lactation is going to cause softness to his brain, and he's going to get knocked the fuck out again.
And then we have your co-main event, Joanna. Would I like to buy a Val? Yes, I would.
Zedzik.
Up against Valerie Letourneau. Joanna all day on this one.
Yeah. Valerie has come down, by the way, from bantamweight. So she's huge at this weight division. She is way bigger, way stronger.
I wasn't aware of that.
And
they had
she's-
to bring somebody who's going to do something against Joanna.
Yeah.
But I think she has the striking to make it a very interesting fight. She also has American Top Team in her corner to make it a very interesting fight. She's going to come forward. She's not scared of Joanna like these other girls seemingly were. However, I think Joanna is just a little bit ahead of everybody in the terms of striking right now, and her takedown defense is vastly improved since the fight we saw her against Gladia. Remember when we saw that fight? I think her takedown defense, she's not just a sprawling brawler, she actually has really good takedown defense, and she's lining up combinations. Definitely going to take the champ.
Yeah, I'm Joanna all day on this one. Speaking of takedown defense, Holly Holm, who's never been taken down in her career, going up against Ronda Rousey. Both undefeated fighters at 12-0 and 9-0. Holly Holm, your former, 20-time boxing champion?
17-time or whatever.
17-time
I still
boxing
question
champ.
that.
She fights so rigid when she does get tossed, it's going to look like throwing like a board.
That's what I said this morning. We were talking about the takedown defense. I'm like, yeah, that's great for double leg and single legs. Ronda Rousey doesn't do that.
No,
Ronda
she
Rousey
does
hip
tosses and yeah.
And a sprawl's not going to work for that.
Right.
No. And the other thing is, Holly Holm's never been a knockout artist, ever. She has knocked people out, but you look at her knockout percentage in boxing, 24% of her entire career. She's not going to be knocking out Ronda Rousey.
No.
She has hands, but she's not going to be knocking out Ronda Rousey. I don't see the power. I don't see the power at all.
No. Rousey's been hit by power.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey's got that jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Ronda Rousey again.
Carmouche got her in the face.
Yep.
And
Misha hit her a couple times too.
You know what? Misha don't have a lot of power.
No, but she hit her.
Right.
She was able to, and I see Ronda Rousey definitely winning this fight. I'm gonna say it's not gonna be the first, by the fourth.
I'm still saying first round.
I'll say by the fourth. I think she's gonna make it a little competitive. I'll say by the fourth, and it's still gonna be a submission.
I think she's gonna try to keep up try to get it done in less than a minute.
All right.
I think that she's going to come in. Holly Holm is going to try out the boxing and stuff. Ronda Rousey's going to want no piece of the boxing.
Right.
I think she'll try out the boxing just to shut everybody up and immediately go to the hip toss. Because she's going to run in, she's going to throw a little, she wants to, see, look, my boxing is just as good as her. Bam, hip toss.
Yeah, because
that's when problems happen when you try to do that.
Because Tyson's been around a lot. And if Tyson's going to tell her anything is don't change your game for anybody.
Yep.
No matter what anybody tells you, no matter what the dollar sign's saying, don't change your game. Because that's what happened to him. They told him, we need this to go a little bit further. People are getting mad about the pay-per-views, and it killed him.
Yep.
And if I think if they try to change her game at all, I'm not going to say she's going to get caught like I don't think wide open like Tyson because Tyson was fighting people that were formidable
opponents.
Opponent. But I don't think there's really isn't anybody who's.
And you look at Holly Holm's record as far as MMA goes too, and she hasn't really fought anybody, in my opinion. She hasn't fought.
There's nobody to really fight right now.
I think there's plenty of people in the divisions they could have had her up against than the ones that they have. I mean,
is it really a mix? I mean,
like to me,
when you're fighting Rousey, is it really a mixed martial arts fight?
Yeah,
is it?
Like, I mean,
she beat Angela Hayes, who just got kicked out. Juliana Werner and whatever.
Jan Finney is the only one, in my opinion, that is a big name.
Well, Marianne Renault is good stand-up
right.
fighter.
Okay. Then you see Pennington, who she's a journeyman boxing style fighter, which was a good intro to the UFC for her.
But
for Holly Holm. But why is she not fighting Misha Tate?
But all these fights have been decided by judo.
Why is she not fighting Kat Zingano? Why is she not fighting?
Because they needed Ronda to fight.
I understand that, but these are the type of fights I'd like to see before I say Holly Holm is ready to fight on the caliber that Ronda Rousey is fighting. Ronda Rousey's taking out the top opponents because she has to. There's nobody left to fight, but
they need to put
and I'm with you. They don't want Holm to fight these other people because that takes the mystique away.
Yeah,
and there's a possibility that she will lose.
Yeah, and
Well, what we need to happen here is that little girl who's a boxing sensation needs,
Right.
needs to grow the fuck up.
Grow the fuck up. Start giving her just a little bit of HGH.
Just the child dose.
No. That's the problem. Mirko's supposed to be taking the child dose. She needs to take like half a child
But she's not in the UFC yet. She can take it all she wants.
Oh, okay.
We don't condone giving kids any drugs.
You don't condone giving kids any drugs.
That's right, I don't.
Benadryl all day. All right, so thanks for
They have
listening.
allergies.
And a plane ride. I actually drugged my kid once for a plane ride. I'll never, ever do it again.
He did not.
Totally did. I'll admit that. I don't care. And I felt terrible for it. I'll never, ever, ever do it again. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Tell your friends if you want to share the love. We'd appreciate that. Find us on Facebook at Split Decision MMA Podcast or on Twitter and Instagram at SD_MMA. Our official website should be back up, splitdecisionmma.com. And, of course, you can download us on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes. You can find us on iHeartRadio as well. Just look up MMA Podcast. Big thanks again to StrongboardBalance.com. Change the way you work out, StrongboardBalance.com, and MyMMAnews.com. So that's it from the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios. It is Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.